Hey everybody, it's Jeff. This is 91 Reasons. Interesting show today. I don't normally put up repeats or best of or anything, but it just seemed appropriate to dig back and find a really interesting episode that I did where I went up to Hollywood to the Improv, and I had a slot on a podcast day where I could do anything that I wanted for a show. So I decided to do basically, Berg stories live. There is some salty language. It's a different take because there's a live audience. But it seemed appropriate, folks. I got some news that on Sunday, October 1st, Don Berg passed away. It's an interesting turn of events. Death is inevitable. I always say that. We have to deal with it. And finding out that I just found out today is Tuesday, that Berg had passed away. And it's weird. Like, did I ever consider what my feelings would be like when I got to this point? I'm not a kid anymore. I'm not a teenager. As a teenager, we had knockdown, drag out, I'm not joking, 3-hour plus fights, me and Berg, where we said everything in the book. I would tell him that the only bright spot I had in arguing with him was that I was going to outlive him. And he would get really pissed off at me. And I would say, I'm going to find out where the funeral is, and I'm going to go, and if you're I'm going to dance on your grave. And he would go, "Oh, you're not going to dance on my grave, punk." And I go, "Oh, yeah, how are you going to stop me?" He'd go, "Well, because I'm going to be cremated." And I go, "Well, fine, I'm going to get some of the ashes and I'm going to carry them around on a necklace." Like I just said that, like he did. We said to each other the most hurtful, evil things you could say to a person, One time he told me that Michael J. Fox was gay. And I was like, what does that even mean? And also that he was a Jew. He was a gay Jew. Like, he would find anything that I liked and he would attack it. I think I've said it on the show one time, I got nominated for a big drama award for doing the importance of being earnest. And they drove us all to San Francisco for a big competition. I had never been to a big drama competition like that. In high school, we went to a couple, but they were small. This was a massive competition, and I didn't have any illusions that I was going to win, place, or show. I was happy for the free trip to San Francisco. Rachel and I had just started dating, and she went with me. I mean, the college paid for it. I mean, it was fantastic. But when I got home, man, when Berg found out I didn't win, he would bring that up. "Oh, that's why you didn't win in San Francisco." And I go, well, the first time I got really pissed off. Like, he's calling me a loser. And then I just got smart. Like, why am I arguing with this guy? "That's why you didn't win." And I'm like, again, we got to the point where the argument wasn't about whatever the topic was, whatever the incident was. The argument was, how quickly can I find this person's weakness and destroy them? It was like real life Mortal Kombat, where you find Sub-Zero's weakness or Scorpion's weakness, you exploit it, and you move on to the next fighter. That's all we did, Berg and I. This was a daily occurrence in my life. And having talked and yelled and screamed so often about outliving him, it never even occurred to me that it would actually, here I am. And having met with Berg a couple of years ago for dinner as an adult, and seeing him old and frail. At the time he was 85 or 86. uh, all of that animosity just evaporates. You grow up. Yeah, the guy treated me like dirt my entire high school and young adult life. He tormented me. But what am I going to do? Hate forever? Life's too short to sit and hate forever. And I've always said hate implies I care, and that's, I just didn't. Once we finally got my mother to leave him in '96, she died 6 months later. So it wasn't like we got her away and no, she died. And when I mentioned even a hint of talking about my mother to Berg, he started crying. He really did love my mother in his own bizarro way. We all love each other in our own bizarro ways. I get it. Don't misunderstand me. I am not sticking up for Berg. I am not endorsing Berg in any way. Berg made my life a living hell. I got a group of friends. I got away. I got anything I could do to get out of the house, I did, for days at a time. Because those were the only times I wasn't being attacked. Which, again, was so bizarre to me because I was a straight A student. President of the drama club. Extra credit, Mr. Extra Credit, Mr. Extracurricular. And when I got home, I was a loser. I was nothing. I was, treating my mother the worst way possible. And I didn't get that. Most teenagers getting a job is the moment where you go, I did it. I've got money now. Mine was, I don't have to be home for 6 hours at a time. And when I am home, I go in my room, I shut the door, and I lock it with a hasp lock and a padlock. Like, I lock him out. That's no way to live, But, like I've always said, when you look back, at the time, it just seems like, well, everybody must live like this. Some people had it worse. Some people were physically beaten every day. I get it. Some people's parents did drugs, or like before Berg, alcoholics. I went through that. So I did the whole spectrum of bullshitosity. Does that make sense? And then I got the call. It was 6 a.m. this morning. At 6 a.m. this morning, my sister texted me that Berg had died, and I waited all day until we got confirmation. I didn't want to jump the gun. It's weird. It's weird because yesterday we spent the whole day thinking Tom Petty was going to make it, and he didn't. So Berg is gone. He fades into yesterday, and all of those ridiculous, colorful stories. And guess what? There are more to tell. I swear to God, there are more to tell. And we'll get to that very soon because I'm gearing up for the next chapter in my Berg isms, my Berg life. After we left Norwalk, there's a whole nother chapter. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much Berg. Because he was there for my entire teenage and young adult life. He was there from 13 to 25. That's every minute of your growing up maturity. And before that, it was drunk, so I didn't catch a break. I didn't catch a break at all. So at my mother's funeral, and I've said this before, but maybe you didn't hear it. At my mother's funeral, I got up to speak, and my sister, she recoiled. Oh my God, he's gonna rip Berg a new one right in front of the entire assemblage. Because at my mother's funeral, there was about 200 people. Every pew in the church was filled, and there was people standing up all along the back and sides. And Berg was there. And I got up, and I looked across the room, and I looked at Berg, and I said, people think they know what I'm going to say, and that I'm going to somehow blame all the villains. But I'm not going to do that, because the funeral's not the place for that. It's for celebrating the person that we've lost, But that was my mother. At this point, we've lost Berg, so I don't know. What do you do with that? And he was 88. He was no spring chicken. Yeah, he lived a long life. He lived 20 years longer than my mother. Think about that. My mother was a saint, and Berg outlived her by 20 years. But hey, how many people do what I do? How many people get that moment of going back and having that conversation? I have it. Not only do I have it, but I have it on tape. My conversation with Berg, and I'll try to put that up too, maybe in a couple days. We'll do a Berg bookend here. If I wouldn't, I don't. Oh God, listen, I'm out of my words here because I don't even know how to feel. I don't. Do I go to the funeral? I mean, I could. Would that be weird? Do I get up and say, hey, thanks for all the content? I mean, I don't know, right? I don't know. I do know that, the guy loved my mother. And if I'm looking for a bright spot, and I've been trying in the last few days with all of the awfulness in the world, I've been trying to find the bright spots, because that's how we get through this. I'm tired of going on Facebook and everything is either about the awfulness in Las Vegas or something that the president has done that everybody's upset about. And it just gets old after a while. You get numb to it. Awfulness in this world. That, thank God the guy in Vegas blew his brains out so they don't have to deal with a trial and him sitting there smug. You know what I mean? But what do you do about Berg, And then the bigger question, did Berg go to heaven? Did he go? Did that happen? Was there a cloud bank and all of a sudden there's Berg? Oh! And St. Peter's like, Mr. Berg, you've made it. Oh yeah! Going to heaven, see Jackie. Like, really? No offense to the men in my mother's life, but I kind of like to think she's with my father. I'm sure my sister wants her to be with her father. My brother wants her to be with his father's not dead. But can you imagine, like, in heaven, you get there and there's Berg? Is that what's ahead of me? Jeffrey's God is going to back up to heaven. Oh my God. Imagine, forget about him he's up there, right? If he asks for forgiveness, he's up there. Imagine I die and I'm at the gates and I see like him peeking through. Oh my God. Mr. Tucker, you've made it to heaven after all the terrible things you've done. Why, thank you, St. Peter. It's good to be here. Oh, let him in. Go on. There's some lemons to squeeze in heaven. Oh no. You mean Berg is here? Can I change my mind? Can I become Hindu and be reincarnated? Can I change religion? It's too late, Mr. Tucker. You've arrived at heaven. This is the way it is. Oh, why do you have an English accent? It's the way it is. Oh, your mother's waiting for you. I know, but so is he. Berg's in heaven too, right? Well, yes. Oh, Jeffrey, come on! I want you to meet Einstein. I can't even imagine. Carrie Fisher said that Princess Leia you like. Come on, we're gonna go have dinner. Oh my God! You imagine me in eternity with Berg. I mean, that would be what I deserve, right? That would be what I deserve. Oh, Jeffrey's gonna be here forever. Oh my God! I should write Bird the musical. Jeffrey's here forever. He's gonna be here in heaven. Oh, I can't even imagine. Can you? Maybe that's something else we'd animate, huh? Berg in heaven. Berg getting to heaven. It's episode 2 in the animated Berg series. Well, hey, Berg is gone. The stories pass into history. And 91 Reasons is here to document and tell you all of them so that you can suffer as we did. So, we'll let you know how the funeral goes if we go to that, and where he's. I mean, if he has, you mentioned Berg has a plot, and if he's buried somewhere, you could all go visit him, and you could stand there and pay your respects. Bring a lemon, and squeeze it on the grave. That's how you pay your respects. You squeeze those lemons one last time. Hey, Berg. What do you do, man? I wish we could say we hardly knew you, but we knew you, Berg. We knew you well. And now we send you off into the great netherworld. I'm not laughing at it because he's dead. I'm laughing at all the memories and the silliness that I've done, and I mean no disrespect in any way. I really don't. The poor guy's gone, and hopefully, I mean, last time I saw him, he was in a lot of pain, so maybe he's in a better place. I've worked through all my issues. I have, when I met him, I had no animosity, no anger, no bitterness. I'm all done with that. For my health, to live so that I could live to be 88, I let all that go. And that's my advice to all of you. You got to let all that anger go. Stop being so angry all the time. We are all in this together. And the only way we're going to make it through is by working together. There's my sermon for the day. All right, check out this classic episode. Me live at the Improv. Berg Stories. Thanks for listening. Warning, the following show contains adult language. It is then... Warning, the following contain... Hey, just a word of warning, the following show does contain adult language and themes. It's the live Don Berg show from the Improv in Hollywood. Stories you've heard before, but in a way you've never heard before on 91 Reasons. Our first, at this point only, rated for mature audiences only. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy the best of Don Berg, uncut, unedited, and raw as hell. You've been warned.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world-famous Hollywood Improv. That's right. Now, we don't have a cocktail server for you this evening. Go up to the bar and say hi to Ashoka at any time and grab yourself a drink, order some food. That is your man. Wait, can they order food yet, Ashoka? Yes, they can. Get hungry. All right, who's ready for a podcast? Say hello to your host of 91 Reasons, Jeff Tucker.
This is amazing. Thank you all for coming out and braving it's amazing. I got this amazing gig courtesy of Sean Merrick. So let's thank Sean over there. Yes. There were a whole bunch of dates to work with, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pick the one when the freeways are closed, because that's the one that's really going to pack them in. So on behalf of the 91 that the show is named for, it's closed tonight. So that sort of works out. Thanks for coming down. My name is Jeff Tucker. I do a podcast called 91 Reasons, and I started this podcast out of frustration because I was a guest on a lot of other podcasts, and I had such a good time doing it that I thought, and there's you have to give and take with the other host. It's their show, so they ask you questions and you answer, then they move the show, and I was like, I have so much else I want to say, so I should start my own podcast, to which my loving and supportive wife said, who's going to listen to that? So there's like 20 people here. So I think an apology is in order. But I've had such a good time doing this podcast for almost 2 years, and I've met people from literally around the globe who write in. And what started out as a show that was basically just going to be me reviewing movies and talking about not just the movie, but what it was like to go see the movie in the 80s, because a lot of kids are like fascinated by 80s culture, and it morphed into like, I'm going to do these time capsule episodes so that when I'm dead and long gone, my kids will have hours and hours, like Jor-El, like they could just ask for advice and I will appear on their podcast and they could ask me questions and I'll have all the answers, right? So I started doing all these episodes that were about not just movies, but just what it was like growing up in the 80s. And the first episode that I did was it was broken into two parts. And the first part was I talked about my mother got a wicked, awful divorce. And the way she made herself better was she decided to hook up with her high school boyfriend. And his name was Roger Rogers. And she found him back in Tennessee behind a grocery store living next to a dumpster. And she brought him back to California with all of his friends. There were about 12 of them living in our house. And it looked like I didn't know like how to compare it back then, except maybe to the Bradys. You know, because the Bradys, like on TV, was like, I wanted to just live in the TV with the Bradys, right? Because when you're a kid, the reality that you're given is, that's it. That's the reality. And you don't think about life. I would spend the night at my friend's house, and I'd be like, boy, these guys are weird. They have macaroni and cheese and stuff. Like just weird stuff that wasn't my family, right? And you got a taste of what it was like. And then the other thing was like, they don't have people living in the backyard. Because I've got people living in the backyard, but they don't. And so the reality of what you're given as a kid, you just learn to deal with it, you know? And I sound like a poor battered woman. Like, well, it's just the way life is. He loves me, and that's how he shows his love, right? But my mother, God bless her, the drunk phase ended, and it ended because one by one they all died of liver failure. And the last guy fell off a quarry because he was drunk. And we had this really short period of really calm bliss at my house. And a little backstory, just real quick. I love going to school. You can imagine with a home life like that going to school was a treat. So I got perfect attendance awards. I went to summer school even though I was a straight A student. All the other kids were catching up on work, and I was making ashtrays back when you still could make ashtrays in school. And you imagine if a kid brought an ashtray home today? Oh my God, they're promoting smoking. No, just pottery. But I did all that because I loved going to school. During the summer, I was bored to tears because I had to sit with the drunks. Because, again, straight A's, honor roll, I did drama, I did everything. So moving into high school, like, high school's bad enough. High school is you look back with rose-colored glasses like, oh, that was so much fun. No, it was hell on earth. Like, I was 4'11" when I started high school. I was really tiny. I was like, as if my mother had gone to Target and bought a logo shirt for me to wear around. That's the kind of target I had on myself. So school no longer became fun, you know, became a battleground. But we had a real nice period of about 6 months between the drunks and my brother fixing up my mother with a boyfriend. And this was the beginning of the end. And I did an episode where I split it up between the drunks and the new boyfriend. And when I put it out there, I didn't expect anybody to like it. Like, it's not fun. It wasn't fun to me. But that's become like the hallmark of the show, is this guy. So my brother hooked my mother up with a guy named Don Berg. Don Berg, right? And this guy was Satan in coveralls. And you just can't understand what it was like to live with a guy like this. Again, straight A's, honor. I've never smoked a cigarette. I've never finished a drink. I've never had a beer. I don't do anything. I'm so like teetotal. It's ridiculous, right? Nuns look at me and go, poor boy. But I never did anything bad. I did drama. Like, I was a drama kid, drama nerd. So she brings home this guy, Don Berg, and she's gaga, and she loves this guy. My sister's there nodding. She's right there for all of it. And Don Berg was crazy. But it was the kind of crazy. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I said, this is going to sound terrible, but there's a scene in Schindler's List where they're building the housing barracks. And this woman comes up, and she's like, look, I've got a college degree. I went to architectural school. I can build things. They're building it wrong. It has to all be torn down, or when they finish building it, it's going to collapse. And the commandante's like, you don't tell us what we should do. And then he shoots her in the head, and then he goes, tear it down and rebuild it. And I'm not comparing myself to the Holocaust, but when you're caught in the middle of whatever you do is wrong, even though it's supposed to be right, that's where insanity is. That's where you start to doubt yourself. So she brings Berg home. Berg looks like Hitler. He's got a little Hitler mustache, and he's all craggly, and he's got Brill cream hair, and he wears overalls that are ripped so that his ass cheeks hang out. and they're hairy. And I know that because my mother would go, I just love his hairy ass. And she'd go, I just want to grab it. And I go, oh, fuck, that's my mom. Like, it's one thing to, like, this is the guy. This is the guy she's brought home. Another thing to go, like, my sister, she fucks this guy. Like, she really likes fucking this guy. As a kid, you're like, I don't know what they see. This guy's the monster. And as an adult, you're like, she fucks this guy. Are you kidding me? They have sex. He doesn't wash. He wears a hearing aid and he doesn't replace the batteries because he's so fucking cheap that the hearing aid, when the batteries wind down, you ever let the batteries wind down on your smoke alarm? It beeps. Ears do the same thing. So all day in the house, beep, beep, beep. Donald, your hearing aid's beeping. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, I turn it up. Don't turn it up. Because he can't hear it. He can't hear the beeping because he's deaf. So it's a vicious circle, and there's this guy. And I was a good kid, you know? When I finished playing with Play-Doh, it went back in the can. That's the kind of kid I was. You know, a lot of kids are like, oh, fuck it, and it just goes on the ground. No, I put it back in the can. So having this guy here, and like, you try to be like, well, for the first 3 months, this guy was great. He took us out to dinner. He took my mom to Hawaii. Oh, we're going to go to Hawaii. All right, they're going to Hawaii. This guy's great. And then the hammer comes down. The warranty is off. And there he is. And every day I came home from school, it was a battleground with this guy. And I just was like, you're just like on edge. Every day you come home, it's like, oh, that's all. That's how he talked. I'm not making that up. That's exactly how he talked. I actually had him on the show, and people were like, holy shit, that's exactly what he sounds like. Like, I wasn't bluffing. Oh, yeah, let's go. So one day, again, straight A kid. One day I wake up, and Berg's in my bedroom. You know, it's a Saturday, and it's 11 a.m., and he's rifling through all of my stuff. What's the money? What money? I know you took the money. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know what's going on. Well, we're going to find the money. And he's like doing the fucking strip search of my room. They're tossing, like Shawshank, they're tossing cells, man. He tossed everything in my room. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And my mom's like, just, if you took the money, just tell him where the money. Ah, you're supposed to be on my side. I didn't take the money. Oh, yeah, you got all those movies. I had a stack of beta movies. I had Live and Die in L.A., and European Vacation because they were damaged at the video store. You stole them. I said, if I stole the money, I wouldn't buy fucking European Vacation with it. I know you took it. So he didn't find the money because I didn't steal it. What he did find was on my TV. Now, when I was a kid, I loved getting things in the mail. I still do. I just ordered like a whole bunch of shit off eBay just so it would come in the mail. And I didn't order it on one day. I ordered it one after the other so it would come a lot in the mail, right? So I had this book when I was a kid. It was 101 Things to Send For in the Mail. And I was constantly getting all this free stuff, pamphlets about hiking. I didn't need the shit. I just was like, Jeffrey, you got mail. I got mail. Yay. You know? So all this mail would come. So I got samples. And I got samples of like just stupid stuff I don't even need. Like how to clean the ice off your windshield. Perfect for Southern California. One time they sent me these metal stickers, and they were security stickers that they put on stuff to like proclaim it as like, this belongs here. And it was a cool orange sticker. I loved it because it looked like Star Trek. You know those things that were on the door, they go, and then there was a little label. I'm in 10 forward. Oh, perfect. So it said, property of Holiday Inn, Wisconsin. So I stuck it on the TV because I was like, now I'm a badass. Because my friends are going to come over and they're like, Jeff stole the TV from Wisconsin. Like, yeah, you know it. So Berg goes, oh, I know you took the money. Yeah, I didn't take the money. You stole the fucking TV. Wait a minute. You know where I got the TV come from, the Holiday Inn. I said, Berg, it's a sticker. I'm going to call him. Please, I'm going to call him on the phone and tell him I got the TV. Just go ahead. Tell him I got the TV. Please. Tell him that the guy in Norwalk, California, has the TV from room 102, please. So needless to say, I didn't want to be this kid because in the movies, I'm poor Hendel. I'm always picking on heavy metal kids. You were a heavy metal kid, right, Romo? I'm always picking on poor heavy metal kids. But every heavy metal kid, because I had a lot of friends growing up that were into heavy metal because it was really popular, right? And every heavy metal kid had when they left for school in the morning would pull the door shut and put a big metal hinge and a big padlock. I don't want my parents in there, man. Why? God only knows. You had to do, everybody did, right? So I had to go to the hardware store and buy this shit, not because I'm doing drugs, because I don't want Berg in my fucking room. So Jeffrey, the house, look at the, I don't want him in my room, Ma. He's not going to go in your room. He's in my room all day looking for things that I've stolen. So this was my life with Berg. One time he decided that the backyard had overgrown too much and it was full of fleas. So he needed somebody to go out and wear this Ghostbuster backpack. You know, you put the backpack on, you have the little handle, and it goes, and then you spray flea spray. The problem is that he had filled the backyard with so much shit that the weeds had grown taller than I was, because, again, I was 4'11". And you can't go out, because the minute you go out, you're covered in fleas. No, you got to go out there and you got to spray the fucking yard. Sure, I'll go out. So I go out, and I come right back in. I'm like, man, I'm covered in fleas. He goes, you're not doing it right. I go, doing what right? You're just spraying. You got to do it like this. So he shows me how to do it. So I stand at the door, and I get ready, like I'm going on the moon, you know? Like there's like a spray thing before you go out on the moon, like to make sure you're not taking any microbes with you. I sprayed myself down with flea spray, soaking wet, and then I went out, and he goes, see, they're not balling you now. I said, I'm never going to have kids. So fuck, man, spraying the yard down. And one time he decided, the same backyard, that the tree in the corner had grown too tall and it was going to touch the power lines. He just knew the city was coming out to give him a ticket, so he got to cut it down. Well, you don't hire somebody. You put your straight-A student on a ladder in the crotch of the tree. So 9 feet up, he puts a ladder, 10 more feet, and I was up there trimming the tree by hand, and I just thought, this can't be right. I'm not above, like I did my share of chores. When the dishwasher broke, we didn't replace it because you don't need that, just do it by hand. Okay, I'll do it by hand, fine. But all this other weird stuff was crazy. And the thing with Berg, like in the same way that Schindler's List is that there's no right way to do it. There's no, like you can't just go, look, I will come up with a list of things that I can do to keep this man off my fucking back. I'll do that. Everybody does that, right? I'm married. I know how not to piss my wife off. There are things you do, and she knows, like, I won't do this, and then we won't do that. It's a mutual, I won't fuck around thing, right? You agree. But with Berg, you couldn't do it, because whatever you did was wrong. He came in one day, and I was washing my hands in the kitchen sink. What are you doing? Just washing my hands, Berg. Not in the kitchen sink, you don't. That's for dishes only. But if I were to do the dishes by proxy, my hands would be washed, right? Don't wash your hands in the kitchen sink. He had 2 voices. He had the, I'm going to tell you. He had 3 voices. He had the tell you. Then he had the very angry, don't you warn me, punk. And then he had my favorite, which was the disappointing, you're not washing your hands in the sink, are you? Oh, come on, that's for the dishes. Your mother works, my mother works so hard, what? Your mother works so hard and you wash your hands. I'm washing my fucking hands, man. We're not curing cancer. I'm not rolling joints. And then he took a cup of water and he threw it at me because I was disobeying. And that's the way it was with Berg, because every move that you made, there was a counter move to mess with you. Oh, please, we got to get the cheesecake over here. Did you order giant cheesecake? No, you can't order the cheese. You're going to share that with a... All right, so I wrote some stuff down because I didn't want to miss anything, right? He was a dumpster diver. He used to bring us food from the dumpster from the Stater Brothers because he'd go, oh, it's so good. And this guy would bring fucking ice cream home. Old ice cream. What? Like, okay, if you find a can of soup in the trash and bring it home, it's a can of soup, right? Ice cream has only got 10 or 12 minutes before it's not ice cream anymore in the trash. How did you do this? Oh, how'd you do this? Oh, I'm not going to eat it because it's from the trash. As an adult, it's not a big deal to me. But as a kid, it was like, I'm not eating ice cream from the trash. Oh, it's good, Jeffrey. You should try. I'm not trying. The ice cream were Rondos, little chocolate Rondo ice. They didn't even make them anymore because they were all put in the trash. So he was a dumpster diver. Oh, yeah. One time, this is the best of Berg, man. One time he came in, and I used to have a lot of friends. I was very popular in high school among the geeks. I didn't have any good-looking friends except ones that got lost and wandered in. But I had... My friend Terry was a football player, and I would just sit in my room and go, what are you doing here? You could be with chicks. I like hanging out with you. Why? I don't like hanging out with me. If you had tits, I'd be on second base. But I had a group of guys that would hang out at the house, and he would just, the sonar. It's like the phone inside the dinosaur in Jurassic Park 3. It's like, shh, you hear it? He's coming. Who? Berg. Door would open. Oh, there you are. You know where I'm at. Where else would I be if I'm not in my room? Your mother wants you to squeeze lemons. Berg, it's like 10:30 at night. Yeah, squeeze the lemons. So I go in the kitchen because I have no choice. I go in the kitchen and there's a big bucket of lemons. I want you to squeeze the lemons. What for? I just want you to squeeze the lemons. I don't understand. Are you going to make lemonade? It was the lemons didn't need to be squozen. He just wanted something to fuck with me about. So it became this battle of wills. I mean, you ever done this with a toddler? Like you make a toddler, you try to get the toddler to do something, the toddler doesn't want to do it, and it's like 30 minutes. Well, I'm not saying I was a toddler, but the lemons were a big factor in this of you're going to do this. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to fucking leave before I squeeze these lemons. You're going to now squeeze those lemons. And it was always for your mother. My mom doesn't drink lemonade. What are they for? Just, are you going to make a garnish? What's happening? Why are we making fucking lemon juice? I will go to the store and I will buy you a fucking jar of lemon juice. No, you're going to squeeze those lemons. I'm not fucking doing it. And then my mom is crying. Just squeeze the lemons for Jerry. Do it for me. It's for me. It's not for you, Ma, because he's standing right there. Oh, it's going to happen. You're going to squeeze those lemons. Right, Jennifer? I'm not making any of this up because you're 10 feet from the lemons. The fucking lemons are right there, and they're unsquozed, man. And he's right there like, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. I'm like, I'm not doing it. You're going to do it. I'm fucking leaving. I mean, it's almost like being placed in a weird situation where it's like you're going to start smoking. I want you to smoke a cigarette. I'm not going to smoke a cigarette. You better. What? I don't want to do any of it. And my mom's like right there, just do it. It's for me. No, it's not. The guilt trips, I am too old for this guilt trip, Ma. What are you doing? Ma, what are you going to do with the lemons? Just do it. See, it's bullshit. It's bullshit, isn't it? I'll leave them. I'm leaving. So, I mean, that was Saturday night in my house. Every fucking Saturday with Berg, man. So, the wars became legendary. Like, every day it was another war. You come in, like, with the army hat on. You look around, here he comes. He's coming. He's coming. Doo, doo. So, my mother and him had this tradition where they like to get damaged animals and bring them in the house. So they brought in 2 Pekingese dogs. One was named Lady and one was named Freckles. Now, they were both beautiful animals, but they were psychologically fucking damaged. Freckles' previous owner had buried him to just his head sticking out of the ground because he would stop shitting on things. Because that's how you fix it. Right? I have kids, I know. So they bring these animals in, and it's not like nothing in my house is normal. Nothing's normal. You can't wash your hands in the sink. There's bowls of fucking lemons for some reason. And the backyard's full of fleas. So why wouldn't we have damaged animals, right? So the damaged animals, you're like, oh my God, my mom brought the animals. Hi, Freckles. He shits on himself and runs away. Like, they weren't animals you could pet. They were like having psychotic creatures roaming the house. What the fuck, right? Freckles. Freckles was the most damaged animal I'd ever seen. He would just stand there like, and then just piss on himself. Like nobody's bothering him. We were a loving family. So in the tradition of damaged animals, he brought home a parrot. He brought home a green, fucking, ugly-ass, damaged, psychologically brain-damaged parrot. All the parrot. Now, this was probably in a pet store like $1,200, $1,300 in 1987. Like a very expensive, beautiful, damaged bird. This is like a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Don't try to talk to it. Has nothing to say. And this bird, like a Sports Illustrated model, had nothing to say. So Berg decides he's going to teach the bird how to talk. So he names the bird Yaki because my mother's name was Jackie, and that's so clever. I named the bird Yaki. Oh, fuck, you sure did. So now when I come home, he's got the bird on his finger, and he's talking to it all day. Hello, 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 Yaki bird, hello, Yaki bird, hello, Yaki bird, hello. I'm not kidding. This goes on all day. Yaki bird, hello, hello. Berg, the bird's not going to talk, Berg. It's not going to talk. Oh, hello, Yaki bird, hello, hello. Guess what? Bird never fucking talked. Ever. The bird never talked. It screeched and it shit everywhere, but it didn't talk. Like I would have given money to just have that bird one time go, hello, and just please, right? Because maybe he would have stopped or moved on to another word. Hello, Yaki bird. Hello, hello, Yaki bird. And the bird's just like. So one day I come home from school and the bird's gone. The bird is not on its perch. It's not on Berg's crusty fucking hand. It's just gone. And that was the fight to end all fights. What are you doing? Get over here. What is it, Berg? Where's the bird? How would I know? You let the bird go. I did? Like, it's the scene in My Cousin Vinny. You shot the clerk. I shot the clerk. He admitted it. I let the bird go? Oh, no, you did. There's a big sliding glass window. You open the door, and you let the bird out. I didn't let the bird go. I know you did. Just admit it. We can go look for it. I didn't let the bird go. So this goes on for 4 fucking hours at my house. Like the Nuremberg trials, right? I know you let the bird go. I know you did. You can just, oh God, just tell him where the bird is. Jennifer, please, just for me. He loves that bird. I know he loves the bird, but I didn't let the bird. If you just tell him you did it, we can move on and we can go look for the bird. I didn't let the bird go. I know you did. Toot, toot. I know the bird. Toot. Hello. Like you're just caught in a circle, a fucking spiral. Oh, I know you let the bird go. I know you let the bird go. I didn't let the bird go. I'm 3 people now, and oh my God. So hammered. You're a terrible person. You let the defenseless bird go. I know the bird's brain. Don't say the bird's brain's damaged. You let it go, didn't you? I didn't let it go. Just say let it go. I didn't let it go. This goes on and on. My mother's crying real tears. Nothing can set you off more than your mother crying. Like, remember the first time you saw your mom cry? You're like, oh, fuck. How can I fix this? I don't have a bird. I don't have a way to fix this. I didn't do this. 4 hours later, the bird casually walked out from under the bed. Just walked out. I swear to God, this is what happened. I know that you goddamn let the bird go. Hello. Hello. Yaki bird, hello. Hello. Is he gonna apologize? Hello. Yaki bird. Oh, thank God the bird's okay. Ma, 4 hours. Well, you know, the bird was under the... I know it was under the bed. I just watched it come out. Well, somebody probably put it... I didn't put the bird under the bed, Ma. What did I do? Put it in the bed and go, don't come out. I want to get really fucked up tonight. Hello. I was like, I'm gonna just kill it. I can't do it. I like animals. I just put the bird in the fucking bag and bring it. There were times it was like, I wish I had let it go. And you know then why people admit to crimes they didn't do. Because after about 3 hours, you're like, whatever, ends this. I let it go, yes. I opened the door. I packed it in a suitcase. It's gone. Hello. Oh, that was my life. That was my life with Berg. So it really never ended. Like, that's just one day. I tell the story, and I love telling that story because it's really fucked up. But it was one day of my life that you just go, man. Like in a movie, that'd be like the centerpiece of the movie. And for me, it was Wednesday. Knowing that there was more days to follow. And like I said, he would just, you know how in the Terminator, everything's a movie analogy. You know in the Terminator, we would look at people and he would be like, size 6, size 7 shoes. And he'd be like, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. He would analyze them. That's what Berg would do. But it was analyzing, how can I fuck with this guy? Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. And he just made it up. The hand washing, I'll just make it up. So one day, and there's always cause and effect. Cause and effect. He rifles my room. I put a lock on it. He used to follow me to the bathroom. He would sense that I was going to the bathroom. And he'd meet me at the door. What are you on? Going to the bathroom. The bathroom. Number 1 or number 2? Why? I want to know. This is information I don't give to anybody. I don't give this information to my wife. What? Oh, if you're going to sit down, you only got to have 6 squares. 6 squares of what? Toilet paper. 6! You ever seen toilet paper? And you imagine how cheap he was. He wasn't buying Charmin. He was buying that gas station shit. So it's like, he'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and rip it off. There you go. Wait a minute. Auschwitz is coming into play. This is rationing right here. And I said, well, what if I need more? You got to fold it over. Use one side, wipe, fold it over, wipe again. All right, just for clarity's sake, let's say I still need to clean up. Well, then you got no shower. Oh, fuck. You're going to do this every time? And it was every time. Like, you think he's kidding, and he's like, like, you know when you pull the paper, it goes, squeak, squeak. He's counting. He's deaf. Suddenly, he's fucking $6 million man. It's 6 right there. Get away from the door. Like, is there any worse thing than somebody waiting on you to take a shit? Like, that's the worst thing. To me, it's hell on earth. It's probably why I just want to be left alone. Oh, my God. Like, I go in the bathroom anywhere in a public place and I look under. How many people are in here? There's a guy in there. I can't go. Because I'm echoing 6 squares, 6 squares. Oh. So the effect to that was the cause, and the effect to that was I had a tackle box, like a crafter uses with hot glue and shit. It had toilet paper and toothpaste and shampoo, because suddenly I have to buy all this stuff now at like 16. At 16, I'm like in the army. Oh, what at home? Oh, and you look, and the next logical step in that arena is to go, this guy only wipes his ass with 6 pieces of toilet paper. No, that explains a lot. Like, he's telling us, he's like, you don't want to think about Berg on the bowl, right? But like him going, oh, I gotta fold it over. Like, no. With all that hair, Jennifer, you look like Freckles. Shit hanging up the back end, like my mother, like, oh, I love it. No. Everything about it's wrong. And then the guy had the nerve to show up at my high school graduation. Our colors were purple and gold. He showed up wearing bright purple pants and a bright gold sweater. And I said, what the fuck are you doing here? Oh, Jeffrey's graduating. It's a big day. It's not a big day for you. I'm graduating despite you. Despite your machinations to try to kill me, I have graduated, which is one step to getting away from you. That's a big day. Jeffrey's graduating. Get him the fuck out of here. He's just happy you're graduating, Jeffrey. Look, take a picture. Take a picture with him. I have a picture of him. It didn't even fit. You could see the sweater that ended here, and there was a hair strip. And then the gold pants, and I'm like it's bad enough I went through this, and I kept it all home except to like the few guys that would come over. But like, there he is. He's at my high school graduation. What's the girl you got a crush on? I want to see her. No, Berg. Oh, is that huh? 6 squares. Like, this is my life. And it didn't end. Like, I didn't graduate and get out. I graduated and I lived at home, so there he was still there. He once brought home, I had to check the time. I don't want to run over. He once brought home a dead snake without a head. It was just the body of a snake, and he put it in the freezer. Like chicken nuggets, ice cream, rattlesnake. And he goes, oh, I found it on the side of the road. Yeah, and I want to make a hat band out of it. First, you don't wear hats. Second, you're not. Oh, yeah. Don't mess with the snake. That's my snake. Okay. So every time I got in a fight, I'd go, Mom, as soon as you leave, I'm throwing the fucking snake away. Oh, Jeffrey, because I'll just have to hear about it. It'll be just leave this. I'm going to do it, Ma. It's the only way I can get back at him because he's crazy. Don't you touch that snake. I can hear you. Oh, now you can hear me, huh? Just come on, we're going out. Yeah, because they would go places, and just for clarity's sake, that snake was in the freezer for about 7 years. And when I left, it was still in the fucking freezer next to the ice cream and the chicken nuggets and the ice cube trays. So they would go out places, or my mother would go alone. He would always find something to do. My mother would go to weddings and ask for to-go bags. Well, Donald couldn't be here, so I want to just take home some of the... He didn't come. He doesn't get the food. Oh, yeah, he just likes the food. And it just got to be like they'd have a wedding or something, and my mom, they just... immediately the bag would come out like, oh, this is so embarrassing. You know, in an age of teenage years where everything is embarrassing. Like, this was off the scale. It's fun. Like, everything he did was shit. We had a term for it. I've never said this on the show because I just remembered it. If you saw something that was completely beyond fucked up, it was Bergified. Wow, they tore down the Quickie Mart on the corner. Oh yeah, they Bergified the shit out of that. Well, they did? I ought to go get some of it. Like, I closed down Spencer Gibbs at Cerritos Mall. He took the walls. He came in and like ripped the walls out and the light fixture. I have video of it. He looked so happy. He's like, oh, all this stuff for free. I'll take it all for free. Why are you here? Oh, I got to talk to the manager. I'm the manager. He didn't talk to me. We're taking it all. So, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so real quick. I started talking about all these stories with Berg. And my sister, God bless her, she came over the other day and she's like, do you remember the time I was playing the piano in the living room and he came at me and told me to stop and he was carrying a knife? So imagine, like, she's playing the piano with her friend. You're like 14, right? And it's on the side, right? The piano. He's like, oh, stop doing that. I said, stop doing it. And then the last time he comes out, he's kind of, I told you to stop doing it. And Jennifer's like, Mommy's got a knife. He's just cutting lemons or something. He's not going to stab you with it. How do you know? Like, how do you know? Because you look at a human wreck like that and you go, if the guy stabbed me and I died, he'd go to prison. He wouldn't care. Because it'd be 6 squares by total. That's it. He's chasing you with a knife. Yeah, out the door. And she goes, the other time, she goes, I stayed up from school sick, but after school, my friends came over, so I was out in the yard, like, talking to him. And then he comes outside. Yo, Sad, you was sick. And he picks her up and takes her in the house. So, he was pretty nice to you, all things considered. I'm the opposite of non-confrontational. Yeah, so, plus, you're a girl, so he gave you a pass. See, here's the thing, is that all his kids were hardened, like, football playing, cigarette smoking badasses. And here's Oh, look at a little faggot theater things doing the plays. You're going to be in a play again? Yeah, I'm going to be in the play. I'm the lead. Oh, he's the lead in the play. Ooh, you know, it's like living with Mr. Furley circa 1977. Yeah, just doing a play, Don. Oh, yeah, I know what that means. Oh, yeah. I go, who do you like? Who's your hero? Michael J. Fox? Joe. He's not Jewish. He's from Canada. He's a Canadian Jew. All those people in show business are Jewish. What? So this is every day, and it never ended. It's one of those things where you're like, in a movie, there'd be this big denouement, this big fight, you know, and I'd stand up to him. The one time I stood up to him, like later in life, I figured out arguing with him was pointless because you're never going to win. Remember that? Remember that idea of never, ever fucking winning? So I just started talking nonsense, and that was the way to win because he thought his hearing aid was acting up. Yeah, I learned by the time Rachel got there, he'd go, I go, hey, Don, you got to move your car because there's street sweeping tomorrow. I'm just warning you. Don't you warn me, punk. No, it's not like that kind of warning. It's a warning about the streets. Don't you warn me. God damn it. Berg, why are you always cussing at me? I never cuss. You've been cussing at me since the day you... No. I say God damn it, not God. That's different. Oh, it is? Sure it is. Hey, Berg, you got to move your car. Don't tell me to move my car. Well, Berg, you have to because the clowns are coming in the circus. What? Doot, doot. And it was a stream of nonsense. Woodstock piano. What? What's going on? Doot. And that was because it would diffuse the whole situation. Because he was ready for pre-programmed a-hole responses from me, and suddenly I wasn't playing to the script. And that was the one time I stood up to him. I don't even remember what the catalyst was, but we ended up nose to nose in the hallway. Me, all of about 130, him at least 200, and he was solid steel. And he took a swing at me. He knocked my glasses off into the wall. And I just remember at that moment, like, one of us is going down here. It's probably going to be me, but it's okay because after all that I've been through, I would take if I could get one in. You know, but of course my mom, oh God, you guys can't do it. Jeffrey's glasses, they're on a prescription. You got oh, please, just for me, Jeff, go. Because later, after the nonsense arguing worked, and most importantly, I got laid by a girl. That sort of changed things. Because the first night Rachel stayed over the house, I lived in a house with like 15 people, including my mom and Berg and everybody else. Nabil, the ice cream man who didn't have a license. You need license to sell ice cream? Yeah, Nabil, you do. I have the ice cream man van, I sell. No, you have to get a license. That episode's coming. That's coming. So... where was I even going with it? So Rachel she's going to stay over the night. Like, holy shit, I got a girl in my room, right? And the next morning, you know how all the 7 dwarves pop up on the bed? Beep, 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 beep. There's a girl in the house. My brother, Berg, everybody else. Jeffrey's got a girl. Oh, he's not gay. Look at that. You're a real girl in his room. Are you a real girl? Yeah, she's a real girl. Back the fuck off, please. Oh, yeah. So it ended with a... Yes, then yes. Hold on now. Oh, no, come on. Yeah, so, well, and again, it just ended with a whimper. It didn't end with a bang. It just ended with, we moved away one day out of his hair. And so when I started doing these shows, I thought, I'm going to look him up. He's got to be dead. I'll go take a picture of his grave. That son of a bitch is still alive. Nearly 90, still alive. I set up a dinner. The whole family goes out. There he is in the lobby of the restaurant. He's all frail. You know, remember how all the bullies that towered over you in later life slowly shrink and become human and normal? Now, I didn't have any sympathy for the motherfucker, but I also was not out to get him. And there was a lot of hesitancy on his family's part of the meeting. because they didn't know my intentions. And I said, I just want to talk to the guy. So we had dinner, and we talked for like an hour. And you know what? He took credit for every one of my responsibilities, my accomplishments. Anything that I had done, oh, I did that for you. Oh, yeah. I said, are you taking credit? Oh, yeah. I did all that stuff to make you who you are. Who would I have been without Berg? I can't even imagine, because it goes back to the reality. The reality you were given as a child is that is the way things are. This is the way my family works. And when she brought Berg home, I was like, what are we going to do? And then it just becomes life. And Rachel wanted to adopt him. After everything we had gone through, she's like, he's just a nice, yeah, oh, he's so nice. You became my mother. He's a little frail old man. You're like, oh, just, be nice to him, just do it for me, Jeffrey. I'm like, I married my mom. Isn't that what all men do? We marry our mommies? Yeah. Because I'm like, look, when no one's looking, I'm going to stab him. I've got corn on the cob, and I got those little things that poke in the end. I'm just going to fucking put it in his eye. Yeah, just for me. Come on. Just for me, Jeffrey. Just tell him, after all these years, just tell him where the bird is, Jeffrey. Please. Hello. So, I got to wrap it up in about 5 minutes. The second episode I did on my podcast with Berg, when I sit to do these, I don't normally have notes. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything, so I wrote notes. But normally when I sit home, it's just free form. It's me. I'm alone. I talk to nobody. I'm talking to all of you when I do the show. And what happened is I decided I'll bring Berg on the show. He's not there. It's just me. And it was so bizarre. If anybody listened to that episode, it was really weird. So, I have a drink finally. In the interest of fairness, I'm going to bring Don Berg to the stage here. So please welcome Don Berg, everybody. There he is. Oh, how's it going? Hey, Don, so thanks for coming out to the Improv. Oh, yeah, I love seeing all the faggots. Don, not everybody here is gay. Oh, yeah, I'll tell the guy, everybody's gay in Hollywood. No, they're not. I'm Joel. They're gay Jews. Oh, yeah. Well, Berg, we're here in Hollywood. The least you could do is just be a little hospitable to people that came out to see. Oh, yeah. So, how's it going, everybody? How's it going? Good to see you. There's Robbie. Oh, yeah. Look at him now. The West family. Oh, yeah. So, anything you want to say? No, I'm good. I brought you all the way out here to talk to the people. Oh, yeah. No, go ahead. Your show. No, this is it? You're not going to say anything? Well, I don't know what you want me to say. Thanks for not letting them stab me. Any questions for Berg in the audience? Jennifer, you want to ask Berg anything? Come on. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. One time I went to the underwear drawer. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, listen, you can do a lot of things, but you can't scratch the Teflon. If the pan has Teflon on it, you got to only use plastic on it, and when you wash, you got to wash it by hand with a sponge. Use that, the scrubber? Oh, come on. Don't use the scrubber on the Teflon. And then he broke the pan. Oh, yeah. You break the pan? I broke it. But now we don't have a pan. Doesn't have a pan anyway. She broke the Teflon. So she got what she deserved. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going to bring you thought that Asian guy. Danny Changa. Huh. Yeah, that's Jennifer's life right there, man. Jennifer was smart. She got the hell out. Girls can do that. Girls can get a boyfriend, gone. Sad drama guy, ain't nobody asking me on a date anywhere. I'm stuck at home. Hey, Berg. Oh, yeah, want to watch American Gladiators? I guess. Hey, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Thanks to Sean Merrick and for setting this up. Absolutely. Sean does a podcast show called Worst Collection Ever, if you want to check it out. Sideshow Network and the Improv Comedy Lab, thanks for having me out. It's been a good time talking Berg. How could you endure this? How could you guys come all the way out here and endure fucking Don Berg for an hour? But it's like, it's a shared thing. Like, everybody has a villain that went through their lives at some point, right? Everybody has that person, whether it was at work or school. Mine just happened to be at home. So I went to school to escape it. My 7th grade teacher, right in the midst, like that is when ground zero, 7th grade, boom, 7th grade is when all this started. Because in 6th grade, we still had the drunks, and that's when I won the science fair by building a working still, because they showed me how to make moonshine. I still have the trophy. You imagine that now. Imagine, oh my God, that's how we did. Forget ashtrays, I made a working still with a little hillbilly next to it to watch the still and the moon. We actually brewed moonshine with it. But it was 7th grade where all this happened, and I escaped to school, and my teacher, Mr. Benton, was the greatest guy in my life. I've never been able to find it, but he's the guy that really kept me going. And then in high school, it's like, fuck it. I took drama and everything, anything to keep from going home. So to open it up and like cut here and open the brain and just spill out Don Berg to everybody. And then to see the response it gets, you know, because like at work, people who listen are like, man, that Berg stuff's great. I'm like, yeah? Oh, yeah, do the voice. Like, oh, I was like, oh, you could do the voice. Well, yeah, he lives in here. Berg lives with me in here. And when he's dead and gone, he's still going to be living with me, man. And Don Berg now and Don Berg forever, right? It's so bizarre to think back in the day that this was even going to be a thing, you know? And then Robbie, God bless Robbie wants to make a cartoon. So we're working on the Adventures of Don Berg cartoon. What's that? It's all going to pay off in the end, right? Hello, hello, hello. And then at the end of the episode, the bird will finally just go, oh. Fade to black, right? Thank you all for braving the Los Angeles freeways and coming out. I couldn't be more humbled that you all showed up. I rambled for an hour. I hope it was fun. Let's all do it together, shall we? I'm Jeff Tucker, and the show is called what? 91 Reasons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out to the Hollywood Improv for Jeff Tucker's 91 Reasons. We do have another show starting in here.